Welcome to English Podcast by Levels. Today we are talking about the World Cup knockout stage. The group stage is finished. The last 32 is here. And now, everything feels different.
Yes, completely different. In the group stage, a team can lose one match and still survive. They can draw one match, win the next one, and fix their mistakes. But in the knockout stage, there is no room for that.
Exactly. One bad pass, one missed chance, one mistake in defense, one moment of fear, and suddenly the dream is over.
That is why the knockout stage is so powerful. It is beautiful, but also cruel. Every team knows the same thing. Win, and you continue. Lose, and you go home.
That sentence sounds simple. Win, and you continue. Lose, and you go home. But for the players, it is not simple at all. They carry pressure from their country, their families, their fans, and even their own childhood dreams.
And that is what makes this stage special. It is not only about football quality, it is also about the mind. Can you stay calm? Can you make good decisions? Can you play your normal game when millions of people are watching?
That is the real question. Because in the knockout stage, talent is important, but courage is just as important.
Maybe even more important.
I always feel that the World Cup becomes a different tournament after the group stage. The group stage is about collecting points, but the knockout stage is about surviving pressure.
Yes, in the group stage, teams sometimes play carefully because they know there is another match coming. But now, there is no next group game. There is only this match, this night, this chance.
And that changes everything. The players know they may not get another chance for 4 years. For some players, this may be their last World Cup. For young players, this may be their first big test.
That is why small details become huge. A corner kick can change a career. A late goal can change a nation's mood. A penalty can make someone a hero or break their heart.
That is heavy. But it is true. People remember knockout moments forever. They remember the goal. They remember the miss. They remember the goalkeeper save. They remember the celebration. And sometimes, they remember the silence after losing.
Sometimes they remember the silence more than the celebration. Because when a team loses in the knockout stage, there is no explanation that feels enough. Fans ask, what happened? Players ask themselves, what could I have done differently?
That is why we say, no second chances. Not because football is unfair, but because knockout football is final.
Final. That word is perfect. Everything feels final. Every tackle, every shot, every decision.
Let's talk about favorites and underdogs, because people usually think the favorite has the easier job. But I am not sure that is true.
Oh, I agree with you. Being the favorite can be a problem. Everyone expects you to win. The media expects you to win. Your fans expect you to win. Even neutral people expect you to win.
And that creates pressure. If the favorite wins, people say, of course. But if the favorite loses, everyone is shocked.
Exactly. For a favorite, winning is normal. Losing is a disaster. That is a dangerous mental situation.
But underdogs can play with more freedom. They can say, nobody expects us to win. They can defend together. They can wait for one chance. They can make the favorite nervous.
And that is when knockout football becomes dangerous. The longer the match stays close, the more pressure moves to the favorite. After 60 minutes, the favorite thinks, why are we not winning yet? After 75 minutes, the fans get nervous. After 85 minutes, every attack feels like panic.
And the underdog starts to believe. They look at each other and think, maybe this is our night.
That belief is very powerful. Sometimes one team has better players, but the other team has better energy. And in one match, energy can change everything.
That is why we love the World Cup. It does not always follow logic.
True. Football loves to embarrass people who are too confident.
Another big part of the knockout stage is fear. Not the kind of fear where players are weak, more like the fear of making a mistake.
Yes, and that fear can change the way a team plays. A defender may pass backward instead of forward. A midfielder may choose the safe option. A striker may shoot too quickly because he feels pressure.
The body is on the pitch, but the mind is fighting another match.
That is a good line. The mind is fighting another match. Because players are not only playing against the opponent, they are playing against the moment.
And then we have extra time. The legs are tired, the brain is tired, the fans are screaming, the coach is shouting, the clock is moving too fast and too slow at the same time.
That sounds impossible, but every football fan understands it. When your team is winning, the clock moves so slowly. When your team is losing, the clock moves so fast.
Exactly. And then sometimes we go to penalties.
Penalties. The most simple and the most difficult thing in football. The ball is still. The goal is there. The player knows what to do. But the pressure is unbelievable.
People say penalties are luck, but I do not fully agree. There is some luck, yes, but there is also preparation, confidence, breathing, focus, and mental strength.
And courage. Do not forget courage. Walking from the halfway line to the penalty spot in a World Cup knockout match. That walk must feel like 1 kilometer.
And the whole country walks with you.
I also think the knockout stage shows us real leaders. Not only captains, real leaders.
What do you mean?
A real leader is not only someone who shouts. A real leader helps the team breathe. When everyone is nervous, the leader says, "Stay calm." When the team makes a mistake, the leader says, "Keep going." When the match becomes difficult, the leader does not hide.
That is important, because in the knockout stage, some players become smaller. The pressure is too much. But some players become bigger. They ask for the ball, they take responsibility, they make the difficult pass, they take the shot.
That is how legends are made. Not in easy moments. Not when the team is already winning 3-0. Legends are made when the match is tight, the pressure is high, and everyone is afraid.
And sometimes, legends are made in defeat too. A player can lose but still show courage. A team can go home but still earn respect.
That is true. The World Cup is not only about the champion, it is also about stories. A small country reaching the last 32, a goalkeeper saving penalties, a young player scoring his first big goal, an old player giving everything one last time.
That is why this stage feels so emotional. Every match has 2 stories. One team continues dreaming, one team wakes up.
That hurts. But it is also what makes the World Cup unforgettable.
So when the knockout stage begins, we should not only ask who has the better players, we should ask better questions. Who can handle pressure? Who can stay patient? Who can suffer without losing control? Who can take one chance when it comes?
And who can recover from a bad moment? Because every team will suffer at some point, even the best teams. They may concede a goal. They may miss a big chance. They may lose control for 10 minutes. The question is, do they panic? Or do they respond?
That is a big difference. Good teams play well. Great teams survive difficult moments.
Exactly. And in the knockout stage, survival is a skill. It is not always beautiful. Sometimes it is messy. Sometimes it is nervous. Sometimes it is 1 goal, 1 save, 1 lucky bounce. But it still counts.
That is the beauty and brutality of knockout football. It can be unfair, it can be dramatic, it can be painful, but it is never boring.
Never. This is where the World Cup becomes more than a tournament. It becomes a test of talent, a test of courage, a test of belief.
The group stage tells us who survived, but the knockout stage tells us who is truly ready.
32 teams are still alive. But from now on, every match has a goodbye.
Noah, before we finish, can we give a few early predictions? Not the full list yet, but just a small taste for the next episode.
I like that. Okay, my first early prediction. Brazil should go through. They have too much quality, too much speed, and too many players who can change the match in one moment. But Japan will not make it easy. Japan are organized, brave, and very dangerous when the other team loses focus.
I agree. Brazil are the favorite, but Japan can make them nervous. Maybe Brazil still win, but it could be closer than people expect. My early prediction is Brazil goes through, but with pressure.
Germany against Paraguay is also interesting. Germany may be the favorite, but Paraguay will fight for every ball. They will not be afraid of a difficult match. Still, I think Germany survive. Maybe not beautifully, but they survive.
I can see that. But I am watching Morocco too. Against the Netherlands, Morocco can be very dangerous. They have energy, belief, and strong team spirit. That match could give us a surprise.
So you are saying Morocco may shock the Netherlands?
I am saying, do not sleep on Morocco.
Fair enough. For France against Sweden, I choose France. The talent is too strong. But Sweden are physical, disciplined, and difficult to break. So France must be careful.
And England against DR Congo? That one is about pressure. England may have better players, but knockout football is not only about better players. It is about calm minds.
True, but I still think England go through. Maybe with a nervous second half.
That sounds very England.
Exactly. A little stress, a little drama, and then everyone says, "We believed all along."
Now we want to hear your predictions. Which teams will reach the round of 16? Which favorite is in danger? And which underdog can shock the world?
Write your predictions in the comments. Tell us who goes through, who goes home, and which match will surprise everyone.
In the next episode, we will make our full last 32 predictions. Maybe we will agree. Maybe we will disagree.
Probably disagree. That is more fun.
True. Thank you for listening to English Podcast by Levels. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep improving your English step by step.
The knockout stage is here. No second chances. Only one question now. Who goes through?
We'd love to see your thoughts in the comments.
We'd be over the moon if you subscribe and like the video.
Have a good day.